Hi everyone, welcome to Clutch Entertainment today. Today I am with Bob. I went to high school with him. I played some soccer with him, and he took me under his wing when he was a senior and I was a freshman in high school. So,
Yeah, he was a good soccer player too.
well, thank you, appreciate it. Well, you were really good. You were on the football team and you were on the soccer team at the same time.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time playing soccer and football and playing sports outside with my friends. I wasn't much of a gamer or anything, but you could catch me outside climbing a tree or something. But I was a senior when you were a freshman, and we kind of clashed into each other and became friends. It was kind of an unusual friendship, I'd say. But the great thing about it is we've remained intact all these years later. So I'm happy to be here with you, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Do you want to talk about yourself a little bit, like what you do and?
Yeah, so I am really still kind of active in the community. I sell insurance for a living. And I enjoy playing sports and going to the gym and such. I'm really big into a healthy lifestyle. At home, I have a girlfriend of 4 years and a baby on the way, and we got a 5-year-old at home and a dog and a cat that drive me nuts sometimes. But the chaos is beauty too. So just thinking of my blessings every day that I get to wake up and live in the chaos. So. It's been pretty amazing.
That's awesome. So today we're going to be talking about like a healthy lifestyle, how you can prepare physically and mentally, and some things you can go through to get to that potential goal that your max potential is.
Yeah, and whenever you reached out to me and you asked, what are you passionate about? I was like, man, I think lately I've been just trying to be a better man. Like, what does that entail? I don't want to say I've had some rocky roads, just like everybody else has, but for me lately, it's been more. My lifestyle has been geared towards being a better person, and that's what I'm striving to be. Like I said, I have a baby on the way, so I want to be the kind of man that kid looks up to.
That's awesome. That's a great way to go about life and the way to go towards
Absolutely
as a goal.
Absolutely.
So we'll get right into it now. So let's talk about some healthy habits just to get started if you're trying to live a healthy lifestyle.
Yeah, so the healthy lifestyle, for me, I'm not a personal trainer, I'm not a dietitian or a nutritionist. All I have is my own testimony, and I want to point out to people that I lived in a world where my friends were drinkers. I was eating fast food. I was staying up late, waking up early, so I was caught in this caffeine cycle, trying to make it through the day. But lately I've been noticing the flaws in my life, and I've been trying to correct those. So I quit drinking. So I've been doing really well with that. I've been getting 8 hours of sleep, and then I've been going to the gym and doing a whole bunch of cardio. Like for me personally, I've been fell in love with the stair stepper. Whenever I first started my cardio journey about a year ago, I was walking on the treadmill, and it was an easy way to get started in your workout. But I started implementing the stair stepper, and that's really been helping me out with my progress.
Was someone motivating you to even get to this point? Did somebody say something to you like, hey Bob, you should get healthy, or was it something you picked up on your own?
It was honestly just a revelation. Yeah, I woke up one morning and I'm just like, I'm tired of being
Joe, right?
the average Joe, or just not my best self. I feel like I had so much to offer to myself and to my family. So you say what motivates you? I think the kid on the way just kind of turned a light bulb on in my soul. I was like, I really, it's time to man up and step up to the plate.
Nice. That's a really great way to get yourself going. I mean, some people have trouble with getting started like that.
Yeah, you can either take the news you can take the news one of two ways. You could take it, run and hide, and bury your head in the sand, or like I said, you can become a man and step up and real ask yourself deep questions like, am I doing the best that I can do, or being the best man that I could be?
Mm-hmm. So when you're talking about the motivational stuff, what is the best way to motivate yourself? Like when you wake up in the morning, is something the first thing of the day, or is it something that you go along the day and then?
That's a good question. I think you have to have a reason why. You have to have a purpose. If you don't have that underlying purpose, you're not going to have that daily motivation. You know, and like you say, your daily actions will determine your long-term results. So for me, I have the purpose, and that's my family and that's my friends. Like, I want to be a better man for them. So every day when I wake up, I'm trying to show them that I am on my journey. Like, I am walking down the road to be a better man, and hopefully they can see that.
So you're trying to prove yourself, basically, to yourself and to them. Basically.
Well, I'm just trying to prove myself that I can be a better man. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, right.
But I think your actions kind of determine, your daily actions are going to determine where you end up. And I want to end up in a really good spot. Like, I want people to look at me and say, like, wow, he really did change for the better.
He worked hard. He did
Unlike
this,
what my parents would say, you're probably going to end up in a ditch somewhere, but...
Oh,
you know.
no. Your parents really said that?
No, they didn't say that. But I'm sure they thought it, for sure.
I hope not. I hope that hopefully your parents think the best of you, you know.
Yeah, they're very happy. They're going to be grandparents. Obviously, they were unsure, you know, if they were ever going to have a grandchild in my name. So they've been really supportive, and they're very excited. So that also motivates me as well.
That's awesome. That's awesome. What about some mental tips you can do?
Mental tips. So, you know, a lot of people struggle with mental illness, anxiety, depression. I was one of those people. Like, I would wake up, I would have anxiety attacks. There was times where I was depressed, and that wasn't something that I grew up with. Like, that was something that happened over time because of the choices that I was making, from eating unhealthy and drinking, and the stress that I was going through in my daily lifestyle. So that's something that I wanted to change.
That's good. That's good. What about some physical tips you can do?
Physical tips is get out there and get active. Like, a lot of people are like, I want to look better in the mirror. Like, I want to feel good about myself. I want to have more confidence, whether it's, you know, when you put on clothes or you're out in the dating world. Like, how do I achieve that? And that really starts with, like I said, your why. And so my advice to people is to take action. So create a plan for yourself. So for instance, my plan was to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. You know, winners don't wake up at noon. They're waking up early. They're getting themselves ready for the day. So lately I've just been waking up at 5. I'm getting to the gym, doing cardio, doing what I hate to do the most. I'm doing that first. I'm going to knock that out of the day. And then what that does over time is that instills that confidence in you to reach just a little bit further. So make action, make a plan, take action, and just monitor your results. See what happens to you on a daily basis.
Should you make a checklist?
Yeah, make a checklist. Like, for instance, my checklist is cardio. I'm going to do a certain muscle group. So, for instance, today I did my back and I did my biceps. And tomorrow I'll do my chest and my triceps. And the next day I'll do my legs and my abs. Like, you're not going to see results in 1 to 2 weeks, or maybe even a month. But I promise you, if you stay on the process, the results will come, because you're essentially just changing your lifestyle.
What if you're like a newbie to exercise that you're talking about, and you just want to know how to do it, but you don't know how to get started? Like, you look up videos and you're not sure, and you just need help, like somebody, like a partner to help you.
Yeah, I was one of those people. So I understand exactly what that question means. Like, for me, I watched a lot of YouTube videos. How do I work out my biceps? How do I work out my legs? How do I work out my abs? Like, I had a gut. You know what I'm saying? So I had to realize, like, I had to seek information, and that's the key, is to seek information. You're going to want to get videos, read a book, watch pictures, or look at pictures, and talk to people. Talk to people who have lost weight. Talk to people who have made that transformation, because those are the best resources to get that information so you can make a change. Because, like, if you're asking the wrong people, you're going to get the wrong information. So get somebody who's been through it. Those are the best people to talk to.
That way they can empathize with you, and they can...
and learn to be outgoing at the gym. Like, for instance, I used to be a lone wolf. I was insecure in myself. I didn't want to talk to people. But as I've pushed myself out of my comfort zone to do cardio, to push heavier weights, it's bred a confidence within me that I'm able to talk to people. And hey, what's working for you, man? I noticed that you've been working really hard and you're getting results. So what are you doing? So I think, seeking help from other people is probably one of the best ways to go.
how can you help other people in general? Because like, you might see someone struggling, or you might see someone like trying to, looking for advice. What's the best way to, go about helping someone else? In a situation?
I think what will help you is if you help somebody else, because it'll teach you how to teach, and it'll teach you more about yourself. I think a teacher learns more about themselves by teaching somebody else.
Right.
And one thing to keep in mind is everybody's journey is different. Everybody has a day one. Everybody is on a day 265 or a year 40. So maybe because you're on day 30, you're still new and relative to the journey, but somebody else might be on day one. Right? So if you're able to be like, hey man, on day one, I felt just like you did. I felt like I did not know what I'm doing, but now I'm on day 30 and I've been pushing myself and I feel so much better. So if you would like the help, I'd love to share that information with you.
Oh, cool. And even if somebody comments on the video too, that you could probably, reach out to them and say, hey, there's some tips for you, right?
Yeah, if anybody wants to reach out and get into a deeper conversation, I'm an open book. I pride myself in being able to help other people. So because so many people have helped me in my life, and I would like to pay it forward. A lot of people say that, oh, I'm self-made, and I can't say that. I can't say that I'm self-made, knowing that I've had so many coaches, so many people that have helped me along the way. So, I think it's everybody's duty to pay it forward.
Okay. How do you get to your highest potential? Like, what's the best way to do that?
Every day you got to wake up and you got to realize that every day is an opportunity to get better. And if you get 1% better every day, you're eventually going to get...
After 100 days, you'll be 100%.
Yeah, in theory, right? But, what is the highest potential? What does that look like for you? So you got to ask yourself, who do I want to be? Who do I want to be like? Like, who inspires you? And
like how you want to be remembered too.
How do you want to be remembered? And just like, what do I want to look like when I'm 40? What do I want to look like when I'm 50? Like, not just on the outside, but on the inside too. Because, I think through the process of going to a gym and trying to live a healthier lifestyle, it will not only make you look better on the outside, but it'll make you feel better on the inside. It'll make you look better on the inside. Like, you'll carry yourself better.
It'll build yourself, I think, if you, on the inside, if you're trying to, get physically better, then you look at yourself, you're like, oh, I can do this. It's like it's like a little confidence boost too.
Yeah. So do you have any experience in regards to your fitness journey?
For myself, like I've started out really slow myself, and I started out with walks and stuff like that, and then even last summer, like I got pushed to start like doing like pull-ups and doing some like dips and stuff like that. Just starting out really slow, and doing some what do you call it when you do the crouches, squat, like body weight squats. That's what
squats. Yeah, those are...
So even like starting out with like body weight squats compared to doing weights, it's a good way to get like, start off slow and, build up over time. That's what my experience has been. Now it's like a lot easier to do, I can go for a walk, or I can do like some pull-ups, or, do some things like more than I could before. Like I used to only be able to do like 1 or 2 pull-ups. Now I can do like 3 sets of 8 or 9,
I'm going to make you do them after this. Prove yourself.
Okay.
I'll just play it.
But yeah, that's my experience myself. I feel like, it's helped me, and shout out to my brothers because they helped me with that, and my dad. So
Yeah, you said your dad was pretty active.
Yeah.
And what people need to realize is like, you don't have to lift a whole bunch of weight to be active. Like you said, you can do
body weights.
Calisthenics is a big thing. Like you can just squat your body weight. Like for instance, I did that a couple weeks ago, and the next day I woke up and I couldn't hardly walk. Or I pushed myself to do 100 push-ups. Yes, it took me 15 minutes, but I was like, I'm gonna get this 100. And the next day my chest was so sore, and that's when you know that you've made a little bit of progress.
You don't want to overdo it though, because if you overdo it, then you'll kill yourself.
You don't want to overdo it, but you need to push yourself a little bit.
You need to push yourself.
You need to feel that pain. It makes you remember that, like, wow, there's more in me. I can achieve more if I just push myself.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful with like weights too. Like some people try to do more because they think, oh, I got this, and then the next day they like have a big old sprain in their back because they did it.
There's a very large spectrum of fitness, right? Like there's just so many tunnels and holes that you can go down from like safety to how your form and and all these different the type of workouts you're doing. Like there's so much information out there and there's like so many holes you can go down, but the main thing is just making the decision to take action, I think.
Right. So what do you think the best resource for all, like mentally, physically, like is it better to like, look in a book? Is it better to Google something? Is it better to talk to somebody you know? What do you think the best way to learn about yourself and to, be good physically, mentally, and, spiritually even, like, and all in general?
Yeah, if I was taking a test, I'd click D, all of the above.
All the above. Okay.
Yeah, so you're going to...
Not just one thing.
There's not just one thing. It's like, you can take away one thing from anything. Like, maybe reading a book is not for everybody, but I'm sure if you flip that book open and you pushed yourself to read the words, you might take away a nugget. So, just using all of the resources out there is going to help you. And that's one thing that people need to understand is you have to be able to take advantage of the information that's out there, whether it's a book, whether it's a video, whether it's talking to somebody, but get outside your comfort zone. That's what this is all about. Like you're trying to build yourself into a better person. You're going to have to step outside your comfort zone.
Yeah, don't hide in the corner.
Don't hide in a corner. Yes, that's what I've done before, and it just doesn't pay off.
Yeah, it's really hard on yourself too when you hide in the corner, because then you're just like, you're just stuck.
You're gonna stay stagnant, and you're not gonna get better, and you're wasting time. Your life is only so long. Like, let's take action now. Let's start pushing ourselves right now.
Mm-hmm. So I would say like probably growth would be the biggest factor into developing yourself. Look at yourself, how you grow.
Grow, like that's overall the objective. Like you're never gonna stop growing, but the concept of growing is what we're trying to achieve, right? Because you're trying to get 1% better every day. And like we said, that starts with making a plan, and that starts with taking action on that plan and staying disciplined and staying consistent.
Gotcha. Is there anything else you want to add to our podcast here?
Yeah. Healthy eating was always a struggle for me. I grew up in a house that was very busy. So my parents weren't at home, making chicken breast and rice every day. So as I've gotten older, I've really started to appreciate the ability to take control of my diet. Like people don't understand that results in the gym, or working out in the gym, will provide 20% of your results, whereas eating a healthy diet will provide the other 80%.
Yep.
And then there's so many great things that come along with eating healthy. Like you're gonna have longevity, you're gonna have mental clarity, you're gonna have a better physique, and there's just like the list goes on, right? And then not only that, getting your sleep, because you're pushing yourself to do all this work. You're going home and you're tired and you're gonna pass out. Make sure you're getting 8 hours of sleep. It's going to affect your mood in a better way, and it's going to help your sharpness the next day because you're going to be tired. But if you have that 8 hours of sleep, your brain will be rested. Maybe your body will be sore, but your brain will be rested.
And the brain's more important than the body, because the brain holds everything.
It holds everything.
If you kill the head, the body dies.
It's your engine, for sure. And one last thing is something that I've really recently discovered within myself is identify your hobbies. Identify things that you love to do. For instance, I thought my hobby was drinking beer and watching sports and eating chicken wings. That was my hobby before, but then I realized that was kind of cutting into my growth. So I rearranged my hobbies to finding something that was beneficial to me. Like, for instance, I go on hikes and I go on walks. I like to look for arrowheads, morel mushrooms are in season, and then deer sheds. Those things are fun and it's beneficial, and it takes me away from the bar, and it puts me in being in nature is kind of like, it helps your peace within your soul kind of thing.
We're all made to be outside.
So for me, that was a hobby that I recently identified, and then there's many others too. So I would greatly suggest that you find a hobby that you like to do, whether you're crocheting with yarn or whether you're knitting or whatever you're doing,
or doing a podcast like
doing
this.
a podcast, man. This is for fun. We're not trying to get rich off this. We're just trying to have a conversation and hopefully
It helps somebody out. Yeah.
Flip a light switch in somebody's brain. Like, man, I've been thinking about that. I want to put that into action. So that would be, my goal for this conversation.
I would say the biggest thing, adding on to what you're saying, is don't be ashamed.
Don't be ashamed to fail.
Because people, they're not going to judge you based on, well, maybe some people will, but be passionate about what you do. Don't just let somebody knock you down and say, hey, you can't do that just because, somebody tells you can't, doesn't mean you can't.
Yeah, you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have people saying, well, that's a stupid goal.
Yeah.
Or, you'll start
They'll
to
never
notice.
stick with it, yeah.
You'll start to notice, Phil, like as you start progressing, as you start seeing that results, that ignites that flame with you, and it starts that snowball rolling. You're gonna have people that notice that from afar, and then people are not always gonna be like, "Oh, great job, Phil!" Like there's something within somebody that says, "I wish I could be doing that. Why ain't I doing that?" And you're gonna see that. They're gonna say
Jealousy,
things
yeah.
to a little bit of jealousy. So, yeah, you don't ever want that to get in your way. Because you got to keep the goal in mind. My goal is to be a better person. And you're going to have adversity along the way. And that's what we're trying to achieve here, is to be able to overcome that adversity.
Mm-hmm. So, that's everything that I have today. And Bob would like to add something on a little here.
Yeah, well, in closing, I'd like to thank Phil. He reached out to me and asked if I wanted to do this podcast, and I accept it, with all honors, honestly. Phil is an amazing person. If you don't know Phil like I do personally, he puts his family first. He's always trying to better himself, and he likes to help other people. And that's why I love Phil, and that's why we've remained friends for about, 15, 20 years now? Since I graduated in 2007, and it's 16 years later.
Yeah.
So, and I have a small group of friends, and you're one, and you're in the circle. You're sitting at the table. So
I appreciate it, man.
I can't say enough about you, and I'm very proud of you and the man that you've become. Because last time I think you were in high school, you were about 4'2". You shot up like a weed.
I think I was 4'10", but
yeah, you shot up like a weed, but a weed with integrity, and I really like what you're doing with this podcast, and I hope you stick with it. And I guarantee you, if you continue to push yourself, like this conversation has been going, if you continue to push yourself, you're going to have people watching, and more people are going to identify with your message. So kudos to you. And lastly, I'd like to just plug my business. I'm working at Editors Insurance and Associates at American Family in St. Louis, Missouri. Our phone number is 636-227-8550. So if you're paying too much for home and auto insurance, or you would like to get some family protection with some life insurance, please reach out to me at the number that I just dropped. So my name is Robert, and it's been a pleasure, man.
He'll take care of you. You don't have to worry about not being taken care of. And also, if you want to give me that contact information, I can put it in the description below.
For sure. I appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you everyone for watching, and this was Bob, and I'm Philip, and hopefully you have a great rest of your day, and if you can like and subscribe, that would be great.
Yep,
Thanks.
toodles.
Have a great day.